Hey, it's SeneGence Distributor Renee again, showing one other option of applying your foundation. So far I think I've used a foundation brush that was flat, and then I've used option where it's the Tem2 gun, which we don't sell, but I love it, and it works great with our foundation. It's like a gun, and then you put your pod in, and then that is your foundation. And our foundation, actually, like I showed in my other previous video, works perfect in that pod. It's just you have to get squirted in there. And this is my other option. Okay, this is a flathead stipple brush. Stipple brush meaning stipple. Stipple, 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 stipple. What that does is it creates little dots to give you a flawless airbrush look. Now, a lot of people take a stipple brush and they go smear, smear, smear. Do you see how flat that makes that hair? Spreads it right out. That's not a stipple brush. Tap, 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 stippling. That's a stipple brush. Look up the word stippling. A lot of people that do painting on wood know what stippling means. Okay. There's also the longer hair brushes. Okay. This one is by MAC. Anyways, some people prefer to use these as stipple brushes, though. Do you see how flimsy the hair is? This is more for blending. Now this longer one could be for foundation in circular motions. Not a foundation brush that you paint like this. Okay. Those are flat. Those are flat and very thin. Let's see if I have one. Foundation brush. Okay, so this is very similar to a flathead foundation brush. You take your foundation like a painter or tool painting. You take it and then you paint it on. Now the only thing I don't like about that per se is sometimes you can see the streaks of the brush strokes. So my favorite besides the Tem2 gun is the stipple. So this is how you do it. I use Fawn. Okay, take it and I kind of go around the edges just to kind of build it up. Now, a lot of people mix pearlizer with our foundation to give them a glow, which, you know, that is fine as well. Sometimes I don't, just because I like when I wear the pearlizer, I like to see it. And if I mix too much with my foundation, you don't really get the whole illuminated effect. Okay, so there. That's pretty much inside the brush. The stippling brush. So then you're going to go and see, you can see it stipple. That's because it's a stipple brush. Now it's all in there. And you're just going to hit your face nice and gently in stippling motions, which is tapping. Nice and tap it nice and gentle. And this is creating a flawless airbrush look without an airbrush. Because when foundation comes out of an airbrush, it actually comes out in micro tiny little dots, and it hits your skin. A reason I love the airbrush again is because you don't touch your face, and as a lot of my other distributors that know when I do makeovers for them, they know I'm not a big face toucher. So gotta be sanitary. There. Little dots of foundation all over. Okay? See? Dots. Stippling effect. Okay? Now you can do the stippling effect with your pearlizer as well. I use my fingers when I use my pearlizer. Okay. Tap, tap, tap. Sometimes when you put in the foundation in the brush, you don't really see it. See, there's still so much left over. You don't see it because it goes into the hairs of the stipple brush, and that's what it's actually known for. So just because you tap it on and you're like, I don't see anything there, it's actually there. You're fine. Okay, so now what I would do is I would take our natural powder and I would actually... that's nice. I would actually go over it with the natural powder. So, that is stippling your foundation on versus rubbing it on versus using your fingers versus using an air gun. And this is, oh, okay, so while we're at it, I still have some more time, I'm going to go ahead and do my pearlizer. I keep mine in a pot. Again, I'm using the smaller brush. And this is a longer haired brush. And then I'm going to show you where I'm going to put it. Like that. Okay. And usually I do this after my makeup's done, but I'm going to go ahead and do this now since I have kind of going backwards. Just to show you all where I put pearlizer at as a highlighter. Okay. Alrighty. And that is foundation with a stippling brush. Use it for what it's called. That's why they named the brushes, to give you a little hint of how to use them. Okay, I will continue on. Highlighter.